guys, Case for Top Ranch. Today I'm going to show you how we bore into a tree. What I did here is we already felled this tree, but I created this little nice 90-degree corner so that we can simulate the hinge that we want to create. So this was probably about a 12-14 inch tree. We have about a 1-inch hinge here. So I'm going to show you how we establish those. So that way, if the tree has a lot of lean back or front, it allows you to establish that hinge and then come out the back if the tree has a lot of back lean or front lean. That way it doesn't barber or anything like that. When we're looking at a chainsaw, you want to make sure your saw is super sharp, but not over-filed where it has a lot of kickback or if it's too aggressive. So just make sure a newer chain is usually the best for this if you're just starting. When you look at your chainsaw, the tip of your chainsaw, we're going to end up taking that and we're going to plunge into the tree like this. And they call this the plunge cut or the bore cut. We're going to end up using, if you were to imagine a little quadrant here, a little T on this. There's two quadrants, this corner and this corner. This corner is called the kickback quadrant, which we don't want to bore in with this one. We're gonna bore in with this attack side is what they call it. This is where the chain is changing direction and coming around, which helps pull your bar into the cut. So we're gonna come on this side. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna kind of do. And we're gonna start the saw up and then do it. We're gonna try and go for about a 1-inch hinge. That way we can fell this tree over. Start your saw right up, make sure she's nice and warm. And I'm gonna come right in here. I'm gonna bore into this, the behind, like the middle of the tree or so with my bar. And once my whole entire tip is into the tree, I'm gonna turn my body and have it so that way this, my bar will want to go into the hinge, and then I'm gonna pull up so that I'm about 1 inch on both sides. Another thing I didn't say, when you're boring into the tree, the top of your bar is gonna designate the direction that the chainsaw is gonna want to naturally kind of pull you. So if I am boring in this way, it's gonna want to pull my chainsaw to the front of the tree. If I'm this way here, it's gonna pull it to the back of the tree. So I'm gonna bore into the chainsaw with my chainsaw in this direction. So that way I don't have there's no danger of me cutting my hinge, because we don't want to cut your hinge too small or too small before it's all ready to go. So that way, if the tree has a lot of lean, it doesn't break for no reason. You want to pull back. Had my chainsaw at an angle, and when my tip was kind of buried into it, I just took it and went straight right in. I had to have a little pressure on against the top my top handle, so that way it would want to keep my bar straight into the tree. Once I'm all the way through, I'm going to come up and I'm going to establish my hinge size, which is usually about 1/10 of the diameter of the tree. Leave it a little big because you can always cut more. It's hard to put it back. That's how you bore into a tree. Really simple, and this is where you would go in and this back strap here, you can cut it, come right out the back if it's got a lot of front lean, or you can cut about half of it out, put a wedge in it, and send it over. But that's just the kind of the basics of boring. I hope that wasn't boring. Let's try another one full speed just to see what it looks like. I'm gonna do it underneath it. Got it extra small to show you kind of the physics and what's happening right now. So I've gone over, I have about like a 1/4 inch hinge just because it'd be tough for me to be able to manhandle this without it. But you can see what's happening is this little hinge that's left here will help direct this from going anywhere. When it's too big, pretty hard for your wedges to push it up. If it's too small, it can break like that. So that's why adequate size hinges are really super important Always go a little bigger because you can cut a little more on the back side. If they're a little small, it's hard to put that wood back. But that's simple, easy tutorial for you guys, and like and subscribe.